here to let you know we saw the Dora the Explorer, the Lost City of Gold. Dora the Explorer.
Help me. This movie, okay. When I was a kid, I didn't like Dora even. I
did like the show when I was younger, but I still watch it time to time, but not as much. But it's repetitive, even though it's annoying and repetitive. It's, repetitiveness.
I was worried about this one. How do you take a show that has no right to exist and do the opposite? Well, I don't know. I don't know how, but somehow they did it. Okay, how do I explain this? Dora is now a teenager. Her cousin Diego, which by the way I found out of her cousins, she's basically going to go stay with him for a while because she has to go to high school and everything's different for her. She's always known the jungle. And her parents talk about there's an ancient city in Inca known as
Parapata.
Parapata.
I said it right.
And for some reason, her parents talk about it saying that she's not ready and that she's off to high school. Okay, where did that plot line go? Now it just became a coming-of-age story, but no, then all of a sudden it goes to them being kidnapped by these mercenaries who show up out of nowhere.
No, they do. No, they did.
And
no, they
oh my God,
did show
they came out of nowhere.
No, they did.
No, they work at a museum for some reason.
No. They were hiding to lure Dora in. Remember that lady? She is a spy. She's wearing a pretend uniform. She actually lured Dora in and her friends to locate Parapata. That's what they wanted to do. It's a twist in this movie that you'll find out when you watch the film. There's an evil villain that's really close that you'll find out every single movie. And it's kind of a twist, kind of cool twist. But she lures Dora and the rest of her friends and Diego into where all the thing is in the museum is, and
they met this guy, and I mean he's having fun in this movie.
They didn't say his name, but we don't know the bald guy's head name though. That we don't know. I think he's not the main headmaster. He's not.
The point we're trying to make is that we don't really know who any of the mercenaries are. They're just there.
They just want to get the Lost City of Gold in Parapata.
How do they know about Parapata? How do they... I'm saying it wrong.
No, Parapata.
How did they... Parapata.
How they know is because I remember the part in the intro where her parents actually said they had to go by themselves to look for Parapata. And they did, and I think what happened was that they got caught or something. They actually tracked them down, they actually did find where Parapata is probably, or they probably
they thought they did.
They needed help to open the gates to Parapata and
right,
things like that. That's what they normally had to do.
Parapata it's too.
It's Parapata.
I'm trying. That for Lost City of Gold. We're just gonna call it that from now on because I can't say the name right.
Parapata.
It looks very similar to The Road to El Dorado. It just
seems...
That
was cool.
It just seems... It was okay. It looks way too similar to that, and it doesn't really feel unique.
Looks just like Uncharted 2. Uncharted 4.
I was thinking more Lost Legacy.
No, Uncharted 4. There's a level...
What about Drake's Fortune? But what about the city where it's like they drank this water and then they were hallucinating? Wasn't it in the second one or the first?
Oh, I think it was on the second one.
That's the one I'm referring to. I was thinking more of that city, but it looks similar to the Uncharted games, whichever one we're talking about, and The Road to El Dorado. I didn't really find it all that magical, to be honest, because we know one thing for sure from adventure movies: it's always a risky endeavor.
But in my opinion,
I enjoyed
it, and I liked the fact that they took a risk on Dora the Explorer, even though the show was kind of okay. I enjoyed it when I feel
like the people who made this movie saw the show and was like, Can we do everything the opposite?
But in this one, I felt like Dora's much older, teenager, and she needs to grow up and to go to high school, make her own friends, and for her, at the first time it is hard for her to do so, then it's really not easy. Mostly the Diego is actually the cousin of Dora, they had to split up, and then Diego went to high school, and they have not seen them since for a while, and Dora finally goes to school, meets new people, but it doesn't turn as much as what's supposed to be. She felt kind of like sad and bullied a little bit much. and she felt like she was not belonged.
Let's put it this way. Everybody wants to know why she acts the way she does. She's always bright, happy-go-lucky, cheerful, always saying hi to everybody.
I think the character for Dora is actually really perfect. A perfect selection.
You mean the person playing her?
Yeah, she did really good as playing Dora. She did interpret Dora annoying and witty and funny and kind of.
Well, she looks like Dora.
Well,
she
does.
Yeah. The personality, though,
pretty.
the problem with Dora has always been she's overly happy, overly smiling. She also likes to talk to her fourth wall, basically saying, "Can you say any particular word in Spanish?" And so I'm thinking,
I think they interpreted really well. The characters didn't interpret their Diego character right well, and
no, Diego was completely different. Dora was pretty much the same throughout the whole movie. It was Diego who changed.
I know, true. No, but even though Diego still changed, he has not forgotten his home where he was.
Not necessarily.
That's what he said.
I just found him cold throughout most of the movie.
Not cold. It's just because that he didn't want to accumulate it from high school and things like that, and mostly get bullied by her.
I'm talking about his personality because his personality was so almost non-existent. Like he didn't have any personality at all.
No, it was there. I think you didn't see it.
He had about as much personality as the Last Airbender. The guy who has a lot of humor, but in the movie he had no humor.
That's Sokka.
Sokka, okay.
But what I'm trying to say is that Diego did have some emotion. You don't see it, but it's there. You just don't see it.
Well, it's hard to notice it. Diego seemed lifeless. Dora was all over the place. She's like the only one that never changed. The other characters felt like the kids from Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. And
but at the end,
the guy didn't even. And the guy who tags along with them, who's like all jumpy, chaotic, kind of all over the place. He sounds like he didn't want to be there, but he wanted to just play for laughs. Dora's portrayed well, I will say that.
Diego's portrayed well, even though you don't see it, like I do.
Production design's okay. The opening, I swear
the opening was
God,
fun. The opening was fun.
I was so scared that the backpack and the map, because the backpack and the map are in the movie. However,
they don't talk as much.
They don't talk ever. That was my favorite part. They don't say a lie. Well, no. Actually, that's not true because in the opening they do say something just to remind people, yeah, the show was a thing. Immediately after the credits, we see that was just imagination. So, okay, the opening proves one thing. And this is very important. Every single aspect of Dora the Explorer is a lie because it was all in the girl's imagination. The whole show was imagination. Everything that happens to Dora the Explorer never happened because it was all inside her imagination.
I think it reminds me of Rugrats where most of the queer is actually Tommy's imagination to think of all the people's friends and everything. I think they're not really real people. They're all imagination babies.
But yeah, I did like that. But actually, it does go animated out of nowhere.
That was fun.
They come across these flowers and...
That gives also a good nostalgia feeling,
and I just felt it was so bizarre.
Look, to me,
wait a minute. Speaking of bizarre, after I just said that the opening wasn't imagination, meaning that the whole show is imaginary, like, not really happening, Swiper is real. That didn't make sense. If everything in the opening scene was in their imaginations, then how is Swiper in the real world? Why is he working with the mercenaries?
The reason why he's working with the mercenaries to get gold. What do you think? He
the ultimate Swiper move.
That's what he's trying to do. Work for the mercenaries and get the gold.
I was just waiting for like the Swiper, like Swiper's working with mercenaries. When he should have been imaginary. I don't know.
He's real.
I said that. That was bizarre.
But it's cool that he's real.
It was bizarre.
But it's cool he was real, though.
I just... Okay, why... How do the mercenaries know Dora's family? How do the mercenaries know?
Because he is in the jungle, too. He's been trying to look for Pata Pata for a long time.
The guy knew them for 3 days.
No, they actually think... I think they know their family for a long time. They don't actually know them. But I think he heard of them and actually know what they're trying to look for and find where that place is. Pata Pata, that's what they're trying to do.
To me, this movie felt like a cross between Indiana Jones, Uncharted, and I don't know, the Treasure of Sierra Madre.
I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I'm gonna give this like 7.8 out of 10.
I think this movie's just I don't know what to think about this. Is this movie good? Well, it's decent. I mean, it's like above average. I mean, I'm glad that they didn't stick to the show fully because otherwise I would have walked out. But in fact, I almost walked out twice. because I said this to him. I said, if they sing the backpack song, or do the swipe or no swiping thing, or they sing the map song, I am out of there. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm not gonna. I almost did that twice.
He didn't leave at all. He was joking.
It was a joke, but I swear it felt. I almost did that. But I was actually glad that they did make fun of like what Dora does sometimes. Like she talks to us doing the fourth wall thing.
She talks to herself.
I know, that was the fun part. I loved seeing that because like, and her dad's like,
she'll grow
who are you talking to? And she'll get out of it. And no, she kind of got out of it, kind of.
Yeah, in the end of the film.
Yeah, finally. And then they're like, Boots
talks.
No.
He talks. He talks. It was kind of cool. I think it might be a hallucination, probably.
I don't know. The movie never makes it clear if it is a hallucination or not.
No, I mean the show. Boots did talk, I think. Yeah, Boots did talk.
Yes. Animation. But he sounds like Danny Trejo.
Yeah. He sounds
how did he get that job, man?
I just felt like Boots felt like the voice of an older man. It doesn't feel like a young Boots to me. Felt like an older man.
Boots sounded like...
No, it sounded like an older
man. Come on,
man.
let's go! Like that. It's kind of like if they got Arnold Schwarzenegger to voice him, it would be very... I don't know.
I'll be back. I am the Boots man. Please help me. I'll be back.
Please help me. I'm inside here. I'm inside Boots. Help me.
I'll be back.
I give it a 7. It's like above average. I don't know what to think about it. I'm just gonna say this:
I enjoyed it.
If you did not like the show,
I mean, if you
didn't like the show, this movie
or another general, if you did,
this movie might be your antidote.
But even though if you did like the show, if you did not like the show, you'll still feel a good nostalgic feeling with this movie itself. I did like the show when I was younger. I kind of still do, not as much as I used to, but I did watch it time to time. But it gives me some good nostalgia feeling. This one gave me a lot of nostalgia feeling when I watched this movie. It felt enjoyable. Dora and everybody else was there. Diego. Seeing them into live action actually brings in a different perspective. If you think about the original show, which would you prefer? The original that looks kind of like cheesy and kind of wonky as hell, or the live action one? I think people definitely will go for the live action one because for all the nuance and good characterization.
And they make fun of it, kind of.
So yeah, I go with the live action version of Dora the Explorer. Enjoyed it, had fun. Even though I did like the original one when I was a kid, it was still good. When I was a kid, my parents were, "What the hell are you watching? Like, why is it Dora keep on saying, 'Look behind you'? It's Dora. It's stupid. So what? That's what she does."
I did not like Dora even when I was a kid.
She was
as a kid, I'd be like, Dora. And then we changed the channel. Like, she needed help from you and a map and a backpack. If you did not like the show,
or if you love the show,
this movie might be beneficial to you because they do acknowledge that it's dumb and they want to try and make it better for you.
Let's make it kind of simple. I'll just say it like this.
However,
it's actually a good movie to watch it in the summertime. Actually, if you want to go take your kids or family, it's worth watching.
However, there are basic things that aren't explained. And there's just... I enjoyed some of it. I did not like some of it. But if they stuck more closely with the show, it would not be good whatsoever. For trying, for effort, at least something good came out of it. I'm going to give it a 7.
It has a good story.
Because I don't know. I just could not... I don't know what to say, honestly.
It had a good story. Kind of a decent villain. Sort of, but there's a twist to it at the very end.
So we're just gonna give it
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Average to above average. I'm
gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Actually,
I'm just gonna give it a low 7 because it's barely at the above average rating. At least it's not a free.
True.
So yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I had a great time.